let's jump into this. Okay, the last time I did this, it crashed out and burned. So I'm just going to do this as quick as possible. So this is just a quick update over regarding my game Patrollin. I finally, after taking some, you know, wasted time, implemented a gamepad control into the game. Not just for, because the game is actually a mobile game, it has touchscreen capabilities, but I wanted to implement some kind of gamepad control because, again, we're in a modern era where people have gamepads that it can actually connect to their phones or mobile devices. Plus, a lot of the mobile consoles like Switch, ROG, and also the Steam system is available, and there's more that's coming. And so, it will be the wise thing to do is to make sure that you have at least a gamepad option for people who want to actually probably use a gamepad. Funny enough, the gamepad system was implemented into the game, but I turned it off because I was like, I don't really need it. And when I went to turn it back on, it didn't work. I think mostly because when I migrated from Game Maker Studio 1.44 whatever to and again there's another update afterwards or in between where I think something broke. So I had to actually go in and dig it up and clean out a few things and add in implementation. So let me jump straight into things a lot faster. So right now I'm just gonna bring up a few quick menu options here, basically to showcase what I did and what changes occurred in the build itself when I implemented that parameter into it. So first thing first I need to do is find some of the so let me jump in. So pretty much I'm just going to load one off. I'm just going to load the game itself just to show you what is being controlled, and then I'm sure just a snippet of some code. And again, the gamepad controls is not the most complex thing. It's just making sure that you have the right things that controls the right, in our case, state machines. So first thing first, this is, I would say, the start menu of the game itself. And in the start menu, of course, there's three different things going on here, which is, of course, start, credits, and stats. In the start, you have its own sub-menu that has the four different things, well, five if you guys should consider the back option. And so, when you select the level, select what it is, and you start the game itself. And then, of course, so you have to have like the controller will actually be controlling all these different things here. So I'm going to get out of it. Also, in the let's use image instead, so I can just quickly move back and forth. So say for example, when a character actually dies, where's this image? Right here, you notice how it has restart, and then there's an option here that says send. And what this does, it send your stats to either Android Play Store or the iOS Game Center. And of course, you do have the reset option. In there are four different modes. In casual and practice, you don't have send. You just have a restart. So pretty much when your character dies, you simply just can restart the game or just send the score in. Let's see, cancel. Okay, so let me jump straight into the code. So it's a little messy right now, but it's gonna get cleaned up. Because again, I had code all over the place, and I didn't. And since I really haven't delved right back into the engine, I didn't remember where a lot of things were, so I had to actually build things out from scratch. So this is one of the master controllers right here. This what's it? Old menu gamepad controller. This is what controls the main menu options. And let's go into just a snippet. So right here I have something called an enumerator. What an enumerator is in this case is basically it helps me to create in simplest terms a folder and a file system where I can actually track things in terms of the folder. So say for example, this would be the folder name, and these are the items that are within the folder, because I'm creating a state machine. So once I create this main item, like say for example the menu, and I say, okay, what are the sub menus of the menu? Of course, main is going to be the first one of the states, then start, then credits, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So just to give you a quick breakdown of it, so remember this, what I just presented here, and if I go in, I'll show you the best way for me to make you see it is side by side. So I'm going to do a side by side comparison. This way you can actually see what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, so if I go into here and I show you from here. So notice this was the state machine that I mentioned in terms of numerator. And you see where it says main, and it says it says menu main. So this is actually referring to this category. So anything that's in this category, which was when I showed you that first picture with submenu right here, this is what that is actually pointing towards. So start, where it says start, credits and stats, these are these ones right here, and this controls that. So once this jumps into this option here, it allows me to actually then navigate between these three. Again, this is just part of the code. The main meat of the code is down here. So again, this tells you, what up and down is actually going to do. You can see that the keyboards, I set up something for the keyboard as well. The gamepad has its own thing, so I didn't even have to worry about that. It's in its separate controller. And then again, since it's a touchscreen, I don't need to actually do that because you're touching it. So pretty much, if you look here, this refers to up, down, and then of course one of the buttons, which would be X, and then it tells it the parameters what to do. And then of course, because some of my menus are a little bit different than each other, like the main menu, I made it very funky. I might have to actually make them all the same, but the main menu is the style what I did for the first menu is a little bit different than inside the menu, because I was just trying different things. And so what I had to do is break them down to say, okay, anything for these parts is going to use this particular format, and then anything that controls these right here, which is star, credits, so forth, is going to be controlled by this option right here. That's why if you go inside, you notice that it says it does a yellow, because it is a yellow and white. Let me go into the game. So when you're actually playing the game now, when the levels loads up, there's a whole different controller in there as well. So let me go find one of the characters, Captain. He has it. So again, inside the main character controller, there is a whole thing that controls the joypad and joystick. So this is just me debugging things just to make sure that things work. We have the joystick, and we have, where is that other one? Where did I tuck it? Okay, here we go. I tucked it in here. Okay, so here we go. So it says gamepad. Again, this is another debugging what I'm doing. So these are what's pointing to all the different buttons. I think it's I need to write that out. A, B, X-pad. If it's if you're using Xbox controller or whichever pad you're using, it points to those particular buttons there. Same thing right here. A, B, X, Y. And that's me labeling off what's actually pointing to. Same thing here. This is actually on the keyboard now, keyboard side of things. So of course, I made keyboard options as well. And this tells you what different actions is going on. So I did a lot of different things in the game, and so just checking everything, all the parameters, just to make sure that it is clean. I'm trying to think of something else that would be unique or interesting to point towards. Actually, I think what would be cool is showing you how the gamepad works. Okay, so this is the gamepad main controller. Not that part. Where are you? Where are you buried? Here we go. So this is the gamepad main controller, and there's a lot of different things going on there. As you see right now, this is for the joypad. If blah blah blah, so for it, this is basically fixing for the joypad. This was some of my older code. I think I deleted the other thing that was used to be in here. But this is pretty much for the joypad, and then this is for the touch controls. Probably have to get rid of this because I don't think I need this anymore. As you can see, what I wrote here above, 622 I made. But yeah, you know, I had fun doing it. You know, I can't even just say fun. It was annoying. But anyway, that's all I got to say on this right now. I'll go into something else later, but let's hope this actually sticks. Peace.